Seneca's Letter 4, on the terrors of death. Keep on as you have begun, and make all possible haste, so that you may have longer enjoyment of an improved mind, one that is at peace with itself. Doubtless you will derive enjoyment during the time when you are improving your mind and setting it at peace with itself. But quite different is the pleasure which comes from contemplation when one's mind is so cleansed from every stain that it shines. You remember, of course, what joy you felt when you laid aside the garments of boyhood and donned the man's toga, and were escorted to the forum. Nevertheless, you may look at your still greater joy when you have laid aside the mind of boyhood, and when wisdom has enrolled you among men. For it is not boyhood that still stays with us, but something worse, boyishness. And this condition is all the more serious because we possess the authority of old age. Together with the follies of boyhood, yes, even the follies of infancy. Boys fear trifles and children fear shadows. We fear both. All you need to do is to advance. You will thus understand that some things are less to be dreaded precisely because they inspire us with great fear. No evil is great, which is the last evil of all. Death arrives. It would be a thing to dread if it could remain with you. But death must either not come at all, or else it must come and pass away. It is difficult, however, you say, to bring the mind to a point where it can scorn life. But you do not need to see what trifling reasons impel men to scorn life. One hangs himself before the door of his mistress. Another hurls himself from the housetop that he may no longer be compelled to bear the taunts of a bad-tempered master. A third, to be saved from arrest after running away, drives a sword into his vitals. Do you suppose that virtue will be efficacious as excessive fear? No man can have a peaceful life who thinks too much about lengthening it, or believes that living through many councilships is a great blessing. Rehearse this thought every day, that you may be able to depart from life contentedly. For many men clutching and clinging to life, even those who are carried down a rushing stream, clutch and cling to briars and sharp rocks. Most men ebb and flow in wretchedness between the fear of death and the hardship of life. They are unwilling to live, and yet they do not know how to die. For this reason, make life as a whole agreeable to yourself by brandishing all worry about it. No good thing renders its possessor happy unless his mind is reconciled to the possibility of loss. Nothing, however, is lost with less discomfort than that which, when lost, cannot be missed. Therefore, encourage and toughen your spirit against the mishaps that afflict even the most powerful. For example, the fate of Pompey was settled by a boy and a eunuch, that of Crassus by a cruel and insolent Parthian. Gaius Caesar ordered Lepidus to bare his neck for the axe of the tribune Dexter, and he himself offered his own throat to Chaerea. No man has ever been so far advanced by fortune that she did not threaten him as greatly as she had previously indulged him. Do not trust her seeming calm. In a moment the sea is moved to its depths. The very day the ships have made a brave show in the games, they are engulfed. Reflect that a highwayman or an enemy may cut your throat, and though he is not your master, every slave wields the power of life and death over you. Therefore, I declare to you, he is Lord of your life who scorns his own. Think of those who have perished through plots in their own homes, slain either openly or by guile. You will find that just as many have been killed by angry slaves as by angry kings. What matter, therefore, how powerful he may be whom you fear, when everyone possesses the power which inspires your fear? But, you will say, if you should chance to fall into the hands of the enemy, the conqueror will command that you will be led away. Yes, whether you are already being led. Why do you voluntarily deceive yourself and require to be told now, for the first time, what fate is, that you have long been labouring under? Take my word for it. Since the day you were born, you are being led thither. We must ponder this thought and the thoughts of the like nature, if we desire to be calm as we await that last hour, the fear of which makes all previous hours uneasy. But I must end my letter. Let me share with you the saying which has pleased me today. It too is culled from another man's garden. Poverty brought into conformity with the law of nature is great wealth. Do you know what limits that law of nature ordains for us? Merely to avert hunger, thirst, and cold. In order to banish hunger and thirst, it is not necessary for you to pay court at the doors of the purse proud, or to submit to the stern frown, or to the kindness that humiliates, nor it is necessary for you to scour the seas or go campaigning. Nature's needs are easily provided and ready to hand. It is the superfluous things for which men sweat, the superfluous things that men wear our togas threadbare, that forces us to grow old in camp, that dash us upon foreign shores. That which is enough is ready to our hands. He who has made a fair compact with poverty is rich. Farewell. How Seneca's letter 4 speaks to us today. Today, most people don't want to think about death. We avoid it, we joke about it, we push it out of our minds, as if ignoring it will somehow keep it away. But Seneca believed the opposite, that remembering death often is what actually frees us to live. When we fear death too much, life itself becomes a long, anxious wait. We cling tightly to time, obsess over longevity, and exhaust ourselves chasing more years instead of better days. Seneca saw this clearly. It's not death that truly haunts us. It's the fear of losing control, the fear of the unknown. In modern times, we build entire industries around denying our mortality, chasing eternal youth, perfect health, non-stop distractions. But Seneca reminds us that death is natural. It has always been part of the deal. Accepting that we are already travelling towards death doesn't make life bleak. It makes it urgent, vivid, precious. When we make peace with loss, we stop wasting energy clutching at what we can't keep. We show up fully for what we have right now. Here's the questions to reflect on. How often do you find yourself clinging to life rather than simply living it? Question 2. What fears about death or about losing control still hold you back from living fully? And the last question, if you accept death as a natural part of life, how might you show up differently today? As ever, please like, share and subscribe. Throw me a comment as to what you think about today and how that affected your life or how you changed what you'll do today. Thank you very much and goodbye.